I know Michael is really excited about this because he's a stockholder in Raytheon. There's some escalation going on in the Middle East. I think that we just bombed some Houthi targets. And I think Lloyd Austin, he directed that from his hospital bed.
Ooh.
That's what I hear.
Can you please explain to us why you support this as a Raytheon stockholder?
Because I like money.
Oh, it matters.
Make it rain.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the details that well, but what I heard was the UK and US were bombing some targets in Yemen.
Okay.
There's been a long ongoing conflict there where we've been supporting the Saudi government to bomb the Houthi rebels, but it sounds like due to the Israel-Palestine conflict and their escalation that we are escalating. That always scares me. I mean, I always bring up the first thing that comes to mind is why is Congress not voting on this first, as Article 1, of the Constitution says we should be. But it worries me too. It's just another escalation, another war under the current administration, and it concerns me in terms of where it could lead to. But that's all. That's about all I know.
Where could it lead, Michael? Come on.
World War. I think if you look across the world, the number of conflicts that are rising.
Soy cucks. Come on, World War. You scared?
I just don't enjoy war. I don't.
Sounds like someone needs to get their man card back.
So I think if you look across the world, there are a lot of conflicts that are popping up, and you can't. The administration or lack thereof has a lot to do with that. I think you have these conflicts in Latin America that are popping up. You have the conflicts in the Middle East. You have China testing their limits. You have all these things that are happening. And why is it? It's because we don't have proactive leadership. And I don't mean proactive leadership as in going out and preemptively bombing people. I just mean leadership that people are actually afraid of.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of, I struggle talking about that, not on this show, obviously, because I'm free to just speak my mind. I know you guys would never censor me. But when I talk to boomer cons about this, they're like, yeah, Iran and the Houthis, they've been, needling us and attacking ships and stuff like that. And, we're being big pussies because we're not responding. Right. Why hasn't Biden, sent in the military and just bomb the fuck out of those guys? And you hear shit like that from the Ben Shapiros of the world. We need to get involved. Stop this shit. Iran's an existential threat. Yada yada. Nikki Haley, right? I'm just like, we went through 20 years of this war on terror and how many trillions of dollars, and nothing fucking happened. We still have this. Everything is worse, and the economy sucks. We got homeless Americans sleeping on the street. Some of them are attacking people in Austin with machetes.
Saw that.
It's why do we have to do this? Why is it? I feel like they think that it's like a position of weakness to say, let's slow down. Maybe we should think about this a little bit more. How do we do this without getting into a war? And I get it. We need to respond somehow. We can't let them just fucking, stop all trade through the Red Sea and attack our military assets. We don't want that either. So what's the answer? What do we do?
Well, the answer is the opposite of what we have been doing, which is not to get more engaged, to get less engaged. Had we not had bases or military presence there, it wouldn't be vulnerable to attack from the Houthis. So I know the I guess logical thing in their mind to do is, well, they attacked us, we got to attack them back. Well, that just makes us even more vulnerable. So shouldn't we be doing the opposite, which is bringing most of our presence home so that we're not vulnerable, and then we could spend those resources here on the problems that we face as a country, which are significant, as you point out. I think any reasonable person looking at this, that's their perspective. But in terms of the people at the top, the Nikki Haley's of the world, well, she's not even thinking for herself, but those types, the Joe Biden, Nikki Haley, Hillary Clintons, they just believe this dogma that the U.S. has to be the empire of the world and the policeman of the world, and we have to, bomb everybody that steps out of line. And
Peace through strength. But the thing is, too many of them, it's not even just them. You do have a lot of older folks who do believe that we need to be there because if we're not, we're isolationists. And I'm just talking about like regular like older. And I think it is a transition in our generation that kind of leans more toward that libertarian-esque side of I mean, which I don't even think it's libertarian. I think it's just common sense that we don't need to be everywhere. And when we are everywhere, we're opening ourselves up to opportunities to do harm to us. And so, but there are a lot of people who genuinely believe like if we're not there, we're isolationists. And I think it's just it's to me, it's such a crazy way to think. If I were to
Sorry, I thought you were done. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just about to kind of go on another tangent, but that was done.
Oh my God, Charles. Should we be leading by example?
And then there goes Michael. I didn't even get the chance to say anything. Gosh, I interrupted you for nothing, Charles. My apologies. Okay. What's wrong with being isolationist a little bit? Like I think the younger generations rightly point out that, hey, we got a lot of shit going on at home, right? Why are we doing this? Why I don't want. And I mean, am I a younger generation? I think so.
In politics, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what's wrong with that. I mean, wasn't Ron Paul right?
He was.
Right?
He was.
But wasn't George Bush also right that they hate us for our freedom?
I agree that people do hate us for our freedom, and then we give them an opportunity to harm us because of our freedom when we are on their land.
What do you mean? What does that mean? Someone hates us for our freedom. What does that mean? Why would they
dislike the way that? I mean, I think there are cultures that dislike the way that we live and think it is, Sure. I think a number of different things, whether it's the cultural aspect, whether it's the democratic aspect, whether it's the religious aspect, whatever. There are a lot of cultures that dislike us for that. And so, yeah, people do hate us for our freedom. Do I necessarily believe that if we're not over there, they're going to come here? No, I don't think that that's always the case. But I'm
going to push back just a little bit, just because I think that, yeah, there's some, not all cultures are equal and not all cultures are, equally valuable. And yeah, there's going to be some cultures out there that are antagonistic to our culture for sure. But just thinking about like a regular person, we're probably talking about, I don't know, the Middle East, right? A regular person in the Middle East, they don't know or give a shit that we have the freedom to come on YouTube and talk about, whatever the hell we want. Like they don't care. They're trying to feed their family, make it to the next day, or, maybe they're a success. They have more success than that. I don't mean to imply that they're all just poor living in, goat pastures, but I don't think that they really care or think about us. Maybe that's, this American exceptionalism, going to our head, like, oh, everyone must be thinking of us and hating us.
This is similar to the debate over the Osama bin Laden letter, right?
You mean the most important letter of our lifetime?
Yeah, we had that pop up on TikTok. I don't know. My general position on this is like we could achieve a lot more if we led by example. We secured our own borders strongly. We had a strong military at the borders, and we tried to engage in trade and leading by example in the rest of the world. We cause a lot of problems with our bombs that are what the CIA referred to, and Ron Paul rightly pointed out in 2008 and 2012 is blowback. When you blow people up, they're pissed at you. That's a pretty natural human response to that. And I think part of the reason is in the wars, in the post-World War II era, they haven't necessarily been about morality and doing the right thing. They've been about accessing resources, exercising power over people we don't like there. So we've created a lot of resentment towards the United States in our actions. And I think we should recognize that and accept responsibility and say, we're going to try to not do that as much in the world. And people would respond to that a lot better than our bombs.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Fuck yeah. America.